afternoon window yesterday was nuts and so entertaining. This was a great game. Jordan Love and the Packers taking on the Cardinals. No Kyler Murray. 4 minutes left in the third. Tied at 13. Cardinals on a 2nd and 10. How good is Trey McBride?
I mean, one of the better tight ends in football. So tough. And he made a bunch of plays for them yesterday.
Maybe they should try covering him.
Maybe. Cardinals up 20 to 13. Beginning of the fourth. 2nd and 6. Guess what? Green Bay has a tight end too.
This guy might be the most underrated tight end in football. Kraft, I mean, this guy's a monster.
Tie the game at 20. This one was so good. 10 minutes to go in the fourth. Cardinals 3rd and goal. Here comes Micah.
Micah Parsons. Are you kidding me? Boy, I wish the Cowboys had a player like him.
Cardinals kick a field goal. They're up 3. Now Cardinals going for it on a 4th and 1 near midfield with 6 minutes left.
A long one, Greeny. That was I didn't love that call.
That was disgusting.
Packers with a big stop. And then the Packers do the same. Rather than kicking a field goal that would have tied it here with 2.5 minutes left, they go for it on a 4th and 2. Gutsy call. Keeps the ball alive.
Yeah,
it was bold, right?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, and
Josh Jacobs scored here. The organization didn't want him to play yesterday. He told him, I got this, and he did.
2 touchdowns for Jacobs on the day. Packers a 27-23 lead. Cardinals looking to respond.
Look at him on the line. Game on the line. What happened? Your best player closes it out. That right tackle's like, help! Help!
Huge play. One last chance for Arizona on a 4th down. The Hail Mary, the prayer not answered. Micah Parsons had 5 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and the Packers survive and win. Micah is the Mariano Rivera of football. He has an NFL best 15 pressures in the 4th quarter and overtime this season. His 29 pressures are the most in the NFL for the year. He is their closer. D. Wood, what do we say about that man this morning?
That's why you trade for Micah Parsons. They would not have won that game if it weren't for Micah Parsons. He was just a dominant figure out there. And listen, we're going to get into the offense, but when you have closers like that, and he is a closer, that is such an asset, especially we get further in the season and in the postseason. And when they wake up on offense, that's when we'll be talking about the Green Bay Packers being a truly scary team.
Man, I'm telling you, I mean, look, the only guy that could stop Micah Parsons in this situation is if he would have played for the Giants. And Mariano Rivera, they would not have gone to the closer. And you know what? I mean, he may be, Mariano Rivera, but Brian Burns, by the way, is John Smoltz. But are you kidding? This guy is such a stud, closes games out. That's what you do.
Yes.
Your great ones finish games, and he's a great one.
That's why you have that guy, right? You don't trade for that guy because of what he does in the 2nd quarter. You trade for him because if you have a lead late in the game, he seals it for you. And it's to your point, that's exactly what the Giants didn't do, unleash the hounds at the end of the game.
Absolutely. And when you look at it, Jerry Jones, why I said it was the worst trade in NFL history, but Jerry Jones might have had the 2nd best trade in NFL history when he traded for George Pickens.
Okay, so the Packers find a way to get the win, and here they
Herschel Walker.
4-1-1, and away they go. And
that's true.
I still can't make up my mind as I watch them what I think of their offense and what I think of their quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, you and me both, Greeny. I mean, this might be the most Jekyll and Hyde unit in all of football. I mean, they have multiple drives where they look unstoppable, right? And they look like this team that, again, is going to be going to the Super Bowl. And then for quarters, they just fall asleep. It's like, what happened to them? Where did they go? They have all these young playmakers. They can't get the ball to them. Again, Jordan Love kind of embodies that with his play, right? Like, again, makes some phenomenal plays and then head-scratching plays at times. But the truth is, listen, if this defensive front is going to play like that, they don't have to do a whole lot. Like, the best thing Jordan Love did yesterday was not turn the ball over, and they win, right? Banged up Josh Jacobs, they still can get it done. Imagine if they actually do kind of put it together.
They've started throwing the ball a little bit more to Matthew Golden, their rookie first-round draft pick, in the last few weeks. He's become more of a factor. And they've started to incorporate a little bit Josh Jacobs into their passing game. And when he's catching the ball in the backfield, I think it brings a new dimension to that offense and that team.
At the end of the day, it's about their defensive front, right? If you look at the different contenders in the NFC, they have their strengths. There isn't any question what Green Bay's strength is.
No, 100%. And that's where you want it, man. Being able to close games out in the 4th quarter, That's why they got him. Look, they had a really good defense last year, but they couldn't close you out.
Right.
Now they got the closer on there with Micah Parsons. He's the difference maker. That's what gives him a chance. But Jordan Love, man, I got no love for Jordan Love, and you know I never have. And why? Yes, he's got unbelievable ability, and we'll see some amazing plays from him. But at the end of the day, do I trust Jordan Love? No, I don't, because I think he's going to take – and he doesn't do it. Statistically, he says, oh, no, he doesn't turn the ball over. Oh, yes, he does. The biggest moments, he'll turn it over.
So they find a way to get themselves a win in a hard-fought game in the desert yesterday. That was the late window, and all those games are great. In the early window, the best game by far was Philadelphia and Minnesota. Let's pick this thing up. 7 minutes left in the first. We're scoreless. This on a 4th and 4, A.J. Brown.
I thought this was great by Hurts. Look at the patience. 4th and 4 is a big moment. Sits in the pocket. His guys scramble drill, and they finally connect on the deep ball. Big, obviously, huge play in this
We've
game.
been screaming for it, and they do it. Now midway through the third. Eagles up 14-9 at their own 21. Devontae Smith. Rex.
79 yards.
He had 9 catches, 183 yards. Eagles up 21-9. But wait, Minnesota's coming back. Now they go again. A.J. Brown again. What a breakout game for him, Alex.
Yeah, he and Jalen Hurts, Jalen Hurts literally was perfect yesterday. These guys, when they're playing like this, unstoppable.
And now they face a 3rd and 9. Vikings are going to get the ball back with a chance to win, but
this was the play call and the play of the day for the Eagles. I absolutely love this. They're getting cover 0 here by the Minnesota Vikings. They check to a double move to A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts drifts in the pocket, lays it up to his guy. They haven't been this aggressive all season.
Logo versus cover 0.
Yep.
The guts of that call is awesome.
let's explain that one a minute here. We'll put the full screen up a little later. Cindy, come out here. Let's talk about that play. Because in so many ways, the Eagles, we have complained, we have wondered, we have been concerned about their passing game. Jalen Hurts had a perfect passer rating yesterday. He had about as good a day as you can possibly have. But that call, why did that play in particular impress you so much?
Well, listen, the Eagles are so talented that their coaching staff, and it kind of makes them conservative, and that's been the biggest complaint in the passing game and run game by the entire NFL world, not just me. And here we are at Minnesota, Brian Flores' defense, which is as exotic and aggressive as it gets, and you have to match that aggressiveness. And so to call a double move, a slant and go in this situation, Jalen Hurts is hot. There's a free rusher, right? And this play takes time. You see him drift in the pocket. Look at him, drift, puts the ball up early. I mean, this team needs to play with their foot on the gas.
You know, the crazy thing is, like, the one thing we've been talking about this Philadelphia Eagles offense, they're so predictable.
Yes.
Throughout the early games, they would have ran a little slant.
Yes.
And they would have settled, and then they would have probably had fourth quarter, and it would have been 4th down. But you see the changes that they made.
Yep.
A sluggo, slant, go. Because you knew, like Rex, you was saying earlier, the cornerback sitting about 8-9 yards,
Thinks the ball's gotta come out.
inside leverage, waiting for the slant, and it's like, oh no, we're gonna run a double move, big explosive play. That's what you want to see out of this Philadelphia Eagles offense.
Yes.
Go ahead.
You know what's interesting? We're seeing the Eagles be aggressive there, and we saw the Packers in the previous highlight be aggressive on that 4th down play to Tucker Kraft. And then there were teams not as aggressive in certain points that wound up costing them the game.
Absolutely. But I tell you what, the thing that I like most about it, and I want the fans to understand what we're talking about, they saw the corner off at 8 yards and inside leverage, clearly playing man coverage in that situation. Versus coverage 0, which you get a free runner on the outside. That corner knows I can be aggressive on the first move because my guy's going to get to the passer. By the quarterback drifting back, he bought enough time to say, when that double move happened, now he's wide ass open. That's why I said it was an amazing call. An amazing call. They knew it was coming. Hurts did. I mean, he was absolutely outstanding in this play.
And really, their aggressiveness in the passing game is what won the game for them.
Yes.
The running game was still abysmal. I mean, what did Saquon average? 2 yards a rush?
Crazy.
But finally taking shots downfield consistently. And how about Devontae Smith? I think sometimes we forget. I mean, A.J. Brown is so good. Devontae Smith won the Heisman. He is one of the best deep threats in the entire NFL. Like, they should be taking multiple shots down the field with him every game. I mean, look at him. He's 5 yards by everybody. Like, I just want to see more of this.
The thing I like most about it, they finally attacked inside the numbers.
Yeah.
That everything else has been on the outside. We know the sluggo obviously was outside, but those other big passes were all inside the numbers.
All to AJ.
And it's like Jalen Hurts can make those throws.
Well, and here's the thing. The thing that jumped out to me yesterday was how well he played against the blitz. That's been the book.
Yeah.
That's been the
That's
book
Brian
on
Flores.
Jalen Hurts. It's like you blitz him, that's it. Jalen Hurts was cooking yesterday against the blitz. If that carries over, as far as these other games, this Philadelphia Eagles offense will be scary.
And just to put a little perspective on this, to play at Minnesota in that dome, noisy, and Brian Flores, it doesn't get any tougher than that from a quarterback perspective to drop back and throw the football. He had a perfect quarterback rating.
Right.
No quarterback has played this good against the Minnesota Vikings there. Against Brian Flores, I bet maybe ever, right? That was an unreal performance.
And he did it at a time where they needed it. They lost 2 straight games. You know what the conversation would have been if the Eagles would have gone into Minnesota against that Brian Flores defense and lost that game. What would the conversation have been like all week long? So, oh boy.
With this team, very quickly, we take their temperature every single week, right? We take out the thermometer and we take the temperature. Passing game looked unbelievable yesterday. Saquon Barkley, you said it, 18 carries, 44 yards. He still doesn't have a 100-yard day on the season. What do we say this morning about the Eagles' offense? Have they solved their problem?
No, still big question marks. The run game is still obviously what makes a lot of this go. Just way too generic. I think for me to think about a lot of this the last couple years, it's always revolved around Jalen Hurts, right? It is a QB-driven run game. They RPO. He's involved in the reads. He has 6 yards rushing in the last 3 weeks. Jalen Hurts. 6 yards rushing, right? And again, I want to see some of that creativity in the run game. That's where Saquon was getting so much space the last year and to rip off some of these big plays.
Yeah, and quite honestly, you talk about it, they're just not running it.
No.
And when you had last year, they averaged 16 RPOs a game. 16 and had 102 yards. This year, 10 times a game with 55 yards a game. So, get back to doing more of the RPO game. You have a special quarterback that way.
Yeah.
It's time to use him.
So coming up here, and after what was, I think, the best Sunday we've had this season, the Eagles made a statement, so